Now, you might also remember that we had a little addition here on this button we just worked on. When we were showing persons, then actually the background color of the button should change to red, and here the hover style should make sure that we style the button differently if we hover over it, basically. Now, how can we change styles conditionally like this when using styled components? Thankfully, it's super simple. We have our styled button here, right? And we want to change some styles based on some circumstance outside of the component. So in this case, based on show persons. Well, for that, we can just pass a prop to styled button, any prop of our choice. For example, alt, but the name is really up to you. And then pass in a value. In this case, this state show persons. So basically, the state which is important for us to change the styling, and that is the show person style, because previously we changed styles in this if block. Now I'm just forwarding this important state on this alt prop to styled button. Now the only question is, how can we use this alt prop inside of our styled button component to change the background color or the hover styles? And for that, we can use a neat feature. This here with the backticks is a template literal. It's regular JavaScript, which in the end creates a string. Now, that is a string where we can dynamically inject content though with a special syntax. And again, this is just JavaScript, has nothing to do with React. You can add a $sign and then 2 curly braces here. This allows you to dynamically insert something into this long string which is created here. And here, we actually can get a function where we receive props, and then we have to return a value we want to render in this place. And there, we can check if props alt, which is that prop I added down there, if you remember. Here, alt. If that is in the end true in our case here, or not. So here we can check if props alt, with a ternary expression, if that is true, then here we want to have a red background, otherwise we want to have that green background from before, so I'm returning a string here. Now this dynamic expression here is also passed into this button method in the end, automatically by JavaScript. And this also is a syntax or a usage of this template literal, which the styled components package understands. If we inject such a function into that style string here, the styled components package will have a look at it and will pass in the props that we pass to the button to that function. So we can expect it as an argument to that function here. And then we can use the props here and return the text, which should be output here and which should be used in the style in the end. And so therefore now if we save this and this reloads, you see this still is green. But if I click on it, it has a red background. And this is all done because in the head section, if we inspect our styles again, you see here we got conditional styles. We got background color green, and we also got the background color red here with a different CSS class. It's a bit hard to read because it's optimized and compressed here, but here you see background color red, and up there you see background color green. And these are different CSS classes in the end, which are used to add these colors. And the styled components package will simply swap these classes here. If you inspect the button and watch the class on the right, we'll swap these classes based on our condition. So that's all the magic, quote unquote, done by that package. And of course, we can use this syntax here not just in this place, but also use it here to have salmon as a background color or light green, or also down there a color which I used before of black. So that doesn't change, so we don't need to change it here. We don't need to add this special syntax here. So with that, if we now reload, if I click it, we have a red button with a salmon background if I hover over it, or if we're not viewing persons, I have a green button with a light green button. These are styled components, and styled components is a package which gives us a very popular way of combining CSS and JavaScript where we write normal CSS, but we mix it with this JavaScript syntax, and the styled components package then does all the magic of extracting this, putting it into a CSS class, and adding this class dynamically to this button, which this button method in this case creates. And then we can use this here as a regular React component, which just happens to have some styles attached to it. Therefore, styled components are definitely also a package I can recommend that you have a look at if you're looking into styling your components.